But then I came out of that, and over the next few years after college, I noticed that like I would just start crashing asleep if I sat down during the sermon every Sunday. Mm-hmm. Like within minutes of the preacher starting to preach, I was out. If I pulled my Bible out and started to try and read, I'd be out. I couldn't read 3 verses. Where I would have sat in 2008, I would have sat for 8 to 10 hours a day on my knees, reading my Bible and reading theology. I couldn't read 5 verses in 2010.
And 2010 was how many years after getting attuned?
So that'd be about a year, well, probably 2011.
Okay.
Would have been by the time it really had started to set in. And that would have been, a year after I getting attuned. But it came on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's adrenal fatigue.
Yeah.
But I don't pass out with non-God stuff. But I didn't put any of that together.
Right.
I just learned what I needed to do to survive.
Okay.
And God stopped being a part of my life. So I went to church. Mm-hmm. I hung out with church people. I went to community group. But my personal relationship with God was almost non-existent. Mm-hmm. I loved God, but I wasn't able to feed myself spiritually. In an engineering environment, as an analytical thinker, I'm working with a lot of atheists. It was hard to hold my faith. And that's where I said that miracle with my ankle was just like an anchor that whenever those lies would come to my mind, which they came all the time, like, well, maybe this is, maybe it is all just, maybe it's not real. Maybe this religion isn't quite right.
It's all just a theory.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, like there is nothing that can explain what happened with my leg. Mm-hmm. That was God. And, I'd seen a lot, and I'd seen similar through Reiki and other things, but that doesn't explain it if it was just prayer.
Right.
And that's all that happened.